full report later on with all this stuff, but since you're here, I'll just, give you a little presentation of what we found. I mean, overall, the place is in really good shape. I mean, obviously, HOA maintains roof and exterior. I look at those areas anyways, just to make sure there's nothing that we need to report to them. Roof looks fine. They obviously replaced that area above there because there was probably a prior leak, what it looks like in the garage. I think you knew about that already. But that's brand new membrane roof over there. Shingle roof looks fine, and all the exterior and everything looks good. So I will move forward. The first photo is just the outside of the home. The air conditioner is up there above the garage. It was replaced in 2016. It might have been replaced at a different time, but the manufacturer date is 2016, as indicated by those two numbers on the serial number there. That's the year of manufacture, so it's a newer unit.
Good.
The main breaker for the home, because these are townhouses and they're adjoining units, they put the meters outside on the exterior wall, so there's no main breaker in the electric panel that's in the garage. The breaker for yours is on the outside of the building, so if you go over there to the left side of the building, they're labeled, and your breaker is the bottom one. So if you need to turn all the power off, you use that. The AC differentials, I measure from the return, the air going in, and then the supply coming out to make sure that the unit's functioning as intended. They should be measured at 14 degrees minimum, so 65 going in and 49 coming out, so it's 16 degrees, which is right in the optimal range. Indicates it's working properly, and being that Meg is sitting here in her sweater, it's obviously cold. Both back doors going from the garage and to the home, they're both rotted pretty bad at the jambs. There is indications there's actually water in there now coming into the garage. That exterior area probably ponds pretty good during heavy rains, so replacing those doors, or at least epoxying them with wood putty or something to get these sealed back up, and then improving the weather stripping to seal the doors is recommended. Because you're not going to get them to come out here and tear up that whole slab likely in the back, to get the water to drain away from there, but you can do something about it coming in the garage and in the home.
Okay.
It's probably just, there's no elevation for the run from
It's
the roof,
probably
right?
flat.
But it's not from the retention or ditch, right?
No. It's just from normal rain.
Sure.
It's just from normal rain.
Because we did stop by here when it was raining, and those seem to be draining fine.
Oh yeah. Those should drain fine, but it's just the way that the slab is poured back there. It's not draining away from the home. It's just flat. So same thing back there, and then there is some damage to the flooring at that back door. The water has gotten in. Water heater is original to the home. It's from 2004. It's a 50-gallon. It is rusted at the bottom. This obviously there was an issue with water coming in if there was a roof leak back there, and it's rusted the bottom of the tank. Right now it's superficial rust. Or cosmetic in nature, but rust doesn't get better. It will tend to get worse over time. If the tank rusts through, of course, it will start to leak. No leaks were found today, but it's something just to keep an eye on, and then replace the water heater as needed. Okay. The main water shutoff is at the right side of the water heater on the back garage wall. So should you need to shut all the water off to the unit, you just turn that knob. It'll shut all the water off. Electric panel is obviously in the garage. Everything was fine. Everything was fine in there. All the wiring was exactly as it was put in from the electricians who did it. Upstairs, the bedroom door needs latch hardware. It's a minor thing to get from Home Depot. Multiple windows have broken balance rods. The balance rods are obviously what keep the windows going up and down smoothly. If you're not going to use the windows a lot, most people don't replace them, but if you want to replace or repair them, you can simply replace the clips that go at the top. The balance rods are these metal bars here, and then there's clips at top that hold them into the bottom of the window. Didn't have any issues opening and closing the windows today. However, this, over time, the windows may start to fall on their own. So upstairs, it was this one here, and then this one over here. And I have pictures of both of those for you.
So going back to that for a second, so basically what's happening is that it'll just mean that if you put the window up, it's not going to stick there. It might start
stay
sliding.
now. At some point in time, it may start to slide down, or it may make them difficult to open. It'll go back and forth.
Oh, I see.
When you're opening it, kind of go click, 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 click,
Okay.
as you're opening
And
it
it's
up.
this part right here?
So this rod pushes down in there, then it has a clip that goes on the top of it. It's
okay.
spring loaded. So that way when you open the window, the spring helps you, and then when you're pushing it down, the spring pushes it closed.
Okay.
So that's why they're called balance rods, to keep the window in line as it goes up and down.
I see. So you're replacing the clip.
The clip on the top of the rod that holds it in usually is what breaks.
Okay.
So that's what typically you replace. Sometimes you have to replace the whole rod hardware if the spring's damaged, or if the clips don't, if the part of the rod is damaged to where the clip won't attach any longer. But the whole rod itself is like $15, I think, to replace them.
Okay.
Or for the part.
Right.
To replace them, whoever's going to do them, whatever their labor charge is. So it's not considered an expensive repair.
Okay.
All right. There are some loose floor tiles in the bathroom upstairs. They're actually popped up, so it's in the front of the master, as you would want to call it. They're loose. I mean, they're going to pop up at some point in time. A lot of times upstairs, floors move and everything, and then that just causes the fin set to to crack underneath the tiles, and it'll just lift the tiles.
So that's just a matter of taking them up and
resetting them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it water induced?
No, sure.
No.
No,
Okay.
it's just typically from movement.
Okay.
To shoot you straight, when they come in and build these places, they get in and out as quick as they can. So whoever was doing tile that day, he wanted to get home. It was probably Friday, 5 o'clock. He wanted to get the heck out.
Yeah.
True story. I mean, I know guys that do these places, and they want to go on to the next one. So, the sink drains really slow in there. It's probably just clogged at the P-trap or at the stop. And the toilet is also loose at the floor up there. It needs to be reset on a new wax seal. The AC vent in the rear bedroom and then the one in the kitchen, they're installed backwards. They're facing the wall. I don't know why somebody did that, but I just pointed out to you guys because obviously if they're facing the wall, it's not going to condition the home the way that it should. So just turn them around.
That's probably something I would do.
Yeah, exactly, because you're freezing.
Yeah.
In the guest bathroom, want to improve the grout along the shower or the bathtub edge. Water will just seep out of the bathtub and can go down there. So it's just a typical home maintenance item. And the toilet shutoff knob leaks. The current owners had it to where it was almost turned completely off, and then of course we turned it on a little bit to see if it functioned, and it leaks. So that's why they had it off. So that definitely needs repair.
Okay.
That's the staining back there of the floor. I just took a picture from the inside. It's obviously from the water intrusion. And then here we have obviously some staining on the floors, and when we tested it at areas, it showed that it was higher than normal moisture, indicating there could be an issue under the floor, a previous leak. Just obviously don't know without taking up the floors.
But based on that percentage, you're saying it's probably a little crack that you said.
I would think so. It's something that's very small and seeping through because it's not anything. If it was 50% wet, then it's a huge problem. But 19%, no, 19 is low.
Okay.
Like 19 is where we actually start to consider something wet.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? If it's 15 or 16, because even the dry areas, they measure 9 and 10. There's going to be some sort of moisture in wood. There always is.
Okay.
But at 19, obviously when we're over here and it's measuring 10, and then we go over to the stain and it's 19, there's a sign that there's obviously water there. So broken balance rod in that kitchen window as well. We already talked about balance rods. And then there's a cracked floor tile. Overall theme too, there's a lot, the grout is thinned out. Once again, this is the tile guy. He just wanted to get on out of here. But there's just thinning grout at various areas throughout the home. So it's more cosmetic in nature now, but the grout does hold the tiles down as well. The faucet in the kitchen leaks at the base when you turn it on from the controls. And there is some corrosion at the waistline under the kitchen sink. Corrosion is typically a sign that it's leaked once before, and the corrosion will sometimes seal it shut. It's not leaking now. It's something that we want you to monitor, of course, to make sure that it does not leak, or you can repair it now to avoid any unexpected leaks in the future. The base cabinetry, there are some stains underneath there, but I think it's just all of their stuff. Obviously, we don't remove all of that stuff to check everything out, but the cabinetry itself is solid. So I think obviously they have bottles that are tipped over and everything in there. So we're in the active plumbing leak, so really nothing cause for concern. This picture won't even make the report. I just took it for reference purposes to know that there's a lot of stuff under there.
Okay.
The water dispenser on the freezer door does not work. The ice dispenser will dispense ice. There is a water line hooked up, but the water, that's me holding it, so there's no water coming out of it. And the dishwasher does not drain at the end of the cycle. There's standing water in there, and it's got a very bad smell to it. And obviously, you can see the discoloration. So I think there's something clogged. Yeah,
there was water in there when I opened it. I got here.
Right when we got here, there was water in there. So I think it's got a clog somewhere in the drain line. And then there's another AC vent that's backwards, and then the rest is just attic stuff. Air handlers in the attic space. Yeah, I think it is.
So that means it's a good AC unit, maybe?
Yeah, it's a Veristar. It's 3.5 tons, which I think is a lot for this place. I'm kind of surprised they put such a large unit here, but it's a straight cool unit, so it obviously only works in the AC mode. It's not a heat pump that works reverse cycle, but the heat did work. We just tested that at the end, so it works off of heat strips only. But yeah, these are the newest Raids. These are Ameristar. They're made by Ingersoll Rand, which is also American Standard, which also makes train. So if you follow that line, that's basically the best company around. So I think this Ameristar brand that they've come out with is their budget-friendly answer to some of the other companies that have higher end stuff. So, but yeah, it's a good AC system. We're seeing them a lot now in the newer homes. So, and that's just stuff. So, yeah, all in all, everything was good.
How was the roof cavity in the attic?
Yeah, attic space, everything's fine.
No insulation, ducts looks good. No leaks there.
Nothing to report.
No, actually, nothing. I took my pictures for the nails for your insurance if you need it. And on that, nothing even worth taking a bit. No bells.
Couple wobbly ceiling fans. There's one out here, living room ceiling fan wobbles, and then one in the which bedroom are we in? Rear bedroom. The rear bedroom it wobbles as well. So they're just out of balance and just either need to have some weights put on them or replace them if you don't like them.
Okay.
One or the other. These little ones tend to wobble more anyways. I had one like the one upstairs and I could never get it to go straight.
So do you have any idea why the water isn't working in the fridge?
No clue.
Okay.
The dispenser could just be bad. It could be, there's a little motor in there
Yeah,
obviously.
when you
that releases.
push it, you can't hear that.
Yeah, usually when you
at all.
push it, usually
Okay.
you know, to dispense the water, and it doesn't do anything. It just
Okay.
pushing it. Just,
Maybe that'll pop up in recall. Even who knows? It's possible.
Yeah.
But
Well, I wonder if that's something like for a home warranty you'd want to. Is it a
I
reason?
mean, home warranties are good on anything, but a home warranty is not going to cover it as far as it's not working now. So
Yeah.
you know, they're going to come in and determine that it wasn't working prior to. So
yeah, it's
Right.
obviously making it so nice, so it's getting water. Through
it's getting the
it's
water
just
through
not
the line.
getting it through the dispenser.
Got it. Okay. And then with the dishwasher works fine. You just have to figure out why it's not draining.
I wouldn't consider it working fine because it doesn't drain. A dishwasher
Got
is
it.
not supposed to have nasty, stanky water in it while you're washing
Okay.
your dishes.
Right.
So-
Right. Right.
Gonna kick that around.
Does it operate? Yes. Does it work fine? No.
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 Okay.
No.
Right.
So,
Got it.
but yeah. So I mean, typical home inspection stuff.
Yeah,
To be
okay.
truthfully honest with you, I mean, other than the the staining down here in the flooring, I mean, that would be the only.
Well, say
thing.
hi to Christine.
Hi, Christine. How are you?
Actually, I have to there you go. Okay. That's Danny. And Peter's
Just to
here.
make sure I do it.
Yeah, he was here.
I was here.
We didn't
Yeah.
we didn't dub his voice in. So.
All right. Let us know if you have questions,
Do you have her
Christine.
email too?
Yep.